The birthday cake sat in the center of the table, 50 candles flickering while my family sang to my mother. I joined in quietly, standing at the edge of the dining room with a glass of champagne I hadn't touched. "Make a wish, Mom," my younger sister Olivia called out, her phone already recording for Instagram. Mom blew out the candles to enthusiastic applause. As the smoke cleared, she smiled at everyone, her eyes lingering on Olivia with unmistakable pride. Before we cut the cake, Olivia announced, "I have news." She pulled out a magazine from her bag with theatrical flourish. Chicago Lifestyle Monthly, a local glossy covering restaurant openings and society events. "My first published article," she said, holding it up. "They're paying me $50 and the editor said if this does well they might give me more assignments." The room erupted. My mother actually teared up. My father pulled Olivia into a hug. Aunt Rebecca started passing the magazine around so everyone could see Olivia's byline on page 47, beneath a 400-word piece about a new brunch spot. "This is just the beginning," my father said, his voice thick with emotion. "Our daughter, the published writer. I always knew you had talent, sweetheart." I was 32 years old. I owned Pulse Media Group, a digital media empire that included 17 online publications, 3 podcast networks, and a content studio producing shows for Netflix and Hulu. Last year's revenue was $340 million. We had 847 employees across 6 countries. My family thought I wrote a blog. "Isn't this amazing, Jordan?" Mom said, finally acknowledging me. "Your sister is a real writer now. Published in an actual magazine." "It's great," I said genuinely. "Congratulations, Olivia." "Thanks," she said, laughing. "I mean, I know you write stuff online too, but this is different. This is print. People actually pay for this magazine." "Anyone can write on the internet," Uncle Derek said, reaching for cake. "No offense, Jordan, but what Olivia's doing, getting past real editors, meeting real standards, that's legitimate journalism." "Exactly," Aunt Rebecca chimed in. "I'm sure your blog is nice, Jordan, but it's not the same as being published by a real magazine." My phone buzzed. A message from my CFO Rachel Kim. "Condé Nast confirmed. They're accepting our offer. $2.8 billion all cash for their digital division. Board vote tomorrow at 9 a.m. My heart rate picked up. We'd been negotiating to acquire Condé Nast's entire digital portfolio for 8 months. Vogue.com, GQ.com, Wired, Vanity Fair Digital. All of it would fold into Pulse Media Group, making us the largest independent digital media company in North America. "Jordan, are you even paying attention?" Olivia said, waving her hand. "I was asking if you wanted to read my article." "Sorry, work email," I said. "Of course I'll read it." "Work email," my father chuckled. "From your blog." "Something like that." "You know, Jordan," Mom said in that gentle, pitying tone I'd learned to hate. "It's wonderful that you have your little writing hobby. But maybe it's time to think about a more stable career? Olivia's getting published work now. You're 32. Don't you want something more substantial?" I had been featured in Forbes twice. The New York Times had run a 3,000-word profile on me last year titled, "The Millennial Media Mogul Building an Empire." Fast Company had named me one of the most innovative leaders in digital media. My family had never Googled my name. Not once. "I'm doing fine, Mom," I said. "Fine isn't enough," she pressed. "Look at your sister. 26 and already breaking into professional journalism. She's building something real." Olivia looked slightly uncomfortable. "Mom, I'm sure Jordan's blog is successful in its own way." "It's not about success," Uncle Derek interrupted. "It's about legitimacy. Print journalism, traditional media. That has weight. Digital stuff? Anyone with a laptop can do it." My phone buzzed again. "Rachel, Netflix confirmed the deal. 3-year content partnership worth $450 million. They want to announce next week." I took a long sip of champagne. "Jordan, seriously, put your phone away," my father said. "It's your mother's birthday. Whatever's happening on your blog can wait." "It's not a blog," I said quietly. "Website, blog, whatever," he said dismissively. "The point is, this is family time." Olivia was showing her article to Aunt Rebecca now. "The editor only changed a few words," she was saying. "She said I have a natural voice." "That's the mark of real talent," Aunt Rebecca said. Not just typing whatever you want online where there's no quality control. I pulled out my phone again and opened my email. A message from Condé Nast CEO. Jordan, the board is unanimously behind this acquisition. Your vision for integrating our digital properties with Pulse Media is exactly what we need. Looking forward to making it official tomorrow. This will change the industry. Robert. Jordan, my mother snapped. I asked you to put that phone away. This is exactly why you haven't accomplished what your sister has. You're always distracted, always focused on that screen. I looked up at her. You're right. I apologize. I pocketed my phone and smiled. Tomorrow I'd own the digital divisions of some of the most prestigious magazine brands in the world. Tonight I'd let my family celebrate Olivia's $50 article. Nobody asked me anything about my work. They never did. Build up, 600 to 800 words. After cake we moved to the living room. My father poured drinks while Mom opened presents. Olivia had given her a spa package. Aunt Rebecca brought expensive hand lotion. Uncle Derek contributed a gift card. I'd given her a first edition copy of To Kill a Mockingbird, signed by Harper Lee. It had cost me $14,000 at auction. Oh, this is lovely, Mom said, examining it. Is it real? It's real, I said. Certificate of authenticity is in the box. Must have been expensive, Uncle Derek said. What did you do, save up from your blog income? Everyone laughed. Something like that, I said. Well, it's very thoughtful, Mom said, setting it aside. Now let's talk about Olivia's article again. Sweetie, you should frame the magazine. This is a milestone. Already planning to, Olivia said, pulling out her phone. Also, the editor emailed me today. She wants me to pitch more ideas. She said if I can get 3 more articles published, they might consider a regular column. A column, my mother gasped. Oh honey, that would be incredible. A regular columnist at 26. It's just Chicago lifestyle, Olivia said, beaming. It's not the New Yorker or anything. Still, my father said proudly, it's legitimate publication. Print media. The kind of thing that builds a real career. My phone vibrated with an incoming call. Sarah Chin, CEO of Condé Nast. I declined and texted, in family event. Can we talk in an hour? Her response, urgent. Board member leaked to Wall Street Journal. Story breaking tonight. You need to prepare statement. My stomach dropped. The Wall Street Journal was about to publish our acquisition before the official announcement. I excused myself to the bathroom and called Sarah back. How bad? I asked. Not bad, just early, she said. Wall Street Journal is running it in tomorrow's print edition, but digital goes live at midnight. Pulse Media Group acquires Condé Nast digital properties in $2.8 billion deal. They've got everything. I checked my watch. 9:47 p.m. 13 minutes. Do they mention me by name? Jordan, you're quoted. They interviewed you 2 weeks ago, remember? Plus they're using that photo from the Forbes shoot. I closed my eyes. My family was celebrating Olivia's $50 article, completely unaware that in 13 minutes, the business world would learn I'd just executed one of the largest media acquisitions of the decade. Hey, I said. Send me the statement draft. Already in your inbox. Jordan, this is huge. Congratulations. I hung up and opened my email. The Wall Street Journal article was attached as a preview PDF. There was my photo next to the headline. 32-year-old media mogul Jordan Pierce reshapes digital publishing landscape. The article detailed everything. The acquisition, Pulse Media Group's trajectory, my background building the company from a single tech blog into a multimedia empire. It quoted analysts calling the deal transformative, and me, one of the most influential voices in digital media. When I returned to the living room, Olivia was still talking about her article. The hardest part was the word count, she was saying. They wanted exactly 400 words and I kept going over. Editing yourself is so difficult. That's real writing discipline, Aunt Rebecca said. Not like blogging where you can ramble on forever. I sat down quietly. Jordan, you look pale, my mother said. Are you feeling all right? Just tired, I said. Too many late nights on the computer, my father said. You need better sleep. Maybe if you had a normal job with normal hours. My phone started buzzing. Not just one notification, a flood. Text messages, emails, Twitter mentions, LinkedIn messages, all coming in simultaneously. 11:58 p.m. The Wall Street Journal had published early. "Jordan, seriously," Olivia said. "Your phone is blowing up. Can you silence it?" I pulled it out and saw messages rolling in. "Congratulations on the Condé Nast deal. Just saw the Wall Street Journal story. Incredible achievement. $2.8 billion. Jordan, you're crushing it." Uncle Derek noticed my expression. "Everything okay?" "Actually," I said slowly, "there's something you should probably know about my work." "Oh, here we go," my father said with an indulgent smile. "Let me guess, your blog got mentioned somewhere?" "Not exactly." I handed my phone to my mother. On the screen was the Wall Street Journal headline with my photo. He stared at it. "This person has your name." "It's me, Mom. But this says, you just bought Condé Nast's digital properties for $2.8 billion. That can't be you." "It's me." Olivia leaned over to look. Her face went white. "Jordan, what is this?" "I don't write a blog," I said quietly. "I own Pulse Media Group. We're a digital media company. 17 publications, 3 podcast networks, content studios. This acquisition makes us the largest independent digital media company in North America." Complete silence. My father took the phone, scrolling through the article. "This says your company generates $340 million in annual revenue. That was last year. This year we'll probably hit $520 million with the Condé Nast integration." $500 million, Uncle Derek whispered. "But you said you had a blog," my mother said weakly. "You said I had a blog," I corrected. "I tried to explain what I did, but every time I mentioned digital media, you called it a blog and changed the subject." Revelation, 300 to 500 words. Olivia was still staring at the article. "This says you started Pulse Media when you were 24. 8 years ago. You've been running this the entire time." "Yes. And we never knew? You never asked." My father read aloud, his voice shaky. "Pierce, who was named to Forbes 30 Under 30 in 2018 and Time's 100 Most Influential People in Media in 2022, built Pulse Media from a single technology blog into a multimedia empire. The Condé Nast acquisition includes digital properties for Vogue, GQ, Wired, Vanity Fair and 12 other brands." "You own Vogue," my mother said faintly. "As of tomorrow I'll own the digital division of Vogue, yes. Along with GQ, Wired and the others." Aunt Rebecca had pulled out her phone, frantically Googling. "Jordan Pierce, Pulse Media. Oh my God. You're on Wikipedia. There are dozens of articles about you. It says here you were profiled in the New York Times," she continued. "Last year. A 3,000-word feature." The room was silent except for Aunt Rebecca's voice reading various articles. Olivia looked at her magazine. Her $50 article suddenly seemed very small. "How much is your company worth?" Uncle Derek asked quietly. "The valuation after this acquisition will be approximately $4.2 billion. And you own?" 78%. "I've sold some equity to investors, but I maintain majority control." My father was doing the math. I could see his face changing. "You're a billionaire," he said flatly. "Technically, yes. On paper. Most of it's tied up in the company." My mother started crying. Not tears of joy, tears of shock and shame. "Why didn't you tell us?" she asked. "I tried to. Multiple times. You weren't interested in hearing about digital media. You thought it wasn't real work." Olivia's phone rang. She glanced at it, eyes wide. "It's the editor from Chicago Lifestyle." She answered nervously. "Hello?" "Yes. I understand. Thank you." She hung up pale. "What did she say?" Mom asked. "She saw the Wall Street Journal article. She wanted to confirm that Jordan Pierce, the Jordan Pierce who just bought Condé Nast, is my sister. She asked if I could get her an introduction for an interview." The irony hung thick in the air. Resolution, 300 to 500 words. My phone kept buzzing. Congratulations from colleagues, interview requests, messages from competitors. "I should go," I said standing. "I have a board meeting at 9 a.m. to finalize the acquisition." "Jordan, wait," my father said. "We need to talk about this." "Talk about what?" "About all of this. Your company. Your success. We had no idea." You had no idea because you never wanted to know, I said calmly but firmly. For 8 years I tried to share my work with you. Every time I mentioned Pulse Media you called it a blog. When I tried to explain digital publishing, you said it wasn't real journalism. We didn't understand, Mom said weakly. You didn't try to understand. There's a difference. Olivia was still holding her magazine. I spent the whole evening talking about my $50 article while you were closing a $1 billion deal. 2.8 billion, I corrected gently. And your article is a real accomplishment, Olivia. I meant that. Everyone starts somewhere. But you started 8 years ago and built a media empire and I never even knew. Because nobody asked. Uncle Derek cleared his throat. Jordan, I said some things tonight. About blogging, about legitimacy. I was wrong. I'm sorry. You weren't wrong based on what you knew, I said. You were wrong because you didn't bother to find out the truth. My mother reached for me. Please don't leave angry. It's my birthday. We can fix this. I'm not angry, Mom. I'm tired. Tired of being dismissed while building something that employs nearly 1,000 people and reaches 200 million readers monthly. 200 million, my father whispered. I picked up my jacket and the signed first edition. I'm going to take this back. I'll donate it to a literacy charity that'll appreciate it. Jordan, no, please. Happy birthday, Mom. Congratulations on your article, Olivia. It really is good. I walked to the door. When will we see you again? Mom asked, her voice breaking. I don't know. I have the board meeting tomorrow. Press conference. Industry meetings. Integration planning. Netflix partnership needs attention. It's going to be busy. But you'll call? I paused. You have my number. You've always had it. The question is whether you'll actually want to hear about my work, or just the parts that make you look good. I left them surrounded by the remains of Mom's birthday party and Olivia's magazine. In my car I checked my phone. The article had been shared over 50,000 times. My LinkedIn had gained 10,000 followers in an hour. Interview requests from Bloomberg, CNBC, The Today Show. A text from Olivia. I'm sorry. I should have asked about your work. I should have cared. Not because it's worth billions but because you're my sister. I stared at it then replied, thank you. That means something. She wrote back. Can we try again? Really try? Maybe I typed. But I need you to understand, I'm not the family disappointment. I never was. I just built my success in a way you didn't recognize. I know that now. We all do. I started the engine. Tomorrow I'd finalize the acquisition that would make me one of the most powerful people in digital media. Tonight my family had finally learned who I actually was. Whether they could accept it remained to be seen. But for the first time in 8 years I didn't need their approval to know my worth. The magazine subscriptions they'd all been reading? Tomorrow they'd see my name on every one as the new owner.